So I've been working on this comic for about 2 years now. It's just me doing all of the writing, drawing, and like you can literally see I'm, I'm working on it right now. And it's a process, it's a time-consuming process, and there's a realization that comes with this type of work. One, you're not going to make any money from it immediately or for a long time. I actually know a few comic book artists. It took them 5 years before they started making any type of real money from their work, but they stuck with it and now they're actually making a lot. Like I'd say almost 5 times minimum wage, which is great in my opinion. So in terms of finances, they're doing really well. So you gotta like hunker down when you're doing this type of thing. It's something that you just have to make peace with. And for someone like me who is still learning art as I'm creating this story, because I've never went to art school or anything, I'm learning all of these things. I'm learning anatomy, I'm learning how to compose certain scenes, and I'm learning camera angles and proper lighting and shading and all of these different things. Anyway, my point is that I'm going to be a bit slower than someone who has the fundamentals down, someone who went to school and actually learned what they needed to learn to be a bit faster at this. And I've made peace with that. That's the point. It's like in that video I made talking trash about coffee comics when he went after Wyatt Manga. Everyone has a process. Everyone's process is a little bit different. But consistency is the most important thing. Like if you give up or stop at any point, that's when you lose, right? If you just quit, that's when you lose. You don't give up on the dream. The dream for me, if you're new here, is to publish this comic. So this is the cover for chapter 1. The comic is called Ascension, and on each of the coins you could see different faces of characters that will be in chapter 1. It took a long time to get to this point where I could create a cover and like have this story and all of that. Anyway, the point that I'm making is that setting realistic expectations is what this video should be about. Now I'm kind of venting at the same time, so it's gonna be a bit more unscripted than usual. So bear with me, okay? Anyway, when you're creating something like this, something that is this ambitious, there's a few things that you have to kind of understand. One, just because you put in a lot of work, it doesn't mean you're going to be rewarded for it. And I think that's the scariest thing. You can work your ass off on a story, put that story out, and then it generates nothing. That's how scary that is. Now you can literally try your best, and it's going to drum up some people who are interested in what you have, but there's also a chance that it's really not going to pop off in the way that a lot of people would like their stories to, and you have to make peace with that, because if you don't, it's something that's going to make your knees buckle. It's going to slowly eat away at you until you have no legs to stand on. So I would say be very realistic when going into this type of dream or space or whatever. You want to do comic books or manga, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. That's just the reality. And I just feel like I had to make a video talking about that, because there's also something else that plagues you. You never feel like you're doing enough. Sometimes I pull 36-hour shifts just doing this. I still got my granddad to take care of. Like, he is in much better health now than he was a year ago. It's because I've been putting him through regular workouts. I have him eating right and all these different things. But he has also gone blind. He's 95% blind. And this is a transition, a huge transition for him, because he's never been blind before. He lost his eyesight, and it's something that you still gotta you gotta compensate for, you know. So I have to like take care of him in certain ways. You know, if anyone knows about taking care of the blind and elderly, they can't tell you how difficult that is. But anyway, something else that I notice is that sometimes I would put in a total of a day and a half's work, and I would still feel like it's not enough. I didn't do enough. I should have done one more page, or I should have. No, those are the moments where you gotta kind of say, you gotta acknowledge the work you put in. And you gotta kind of say, yeah, you did enough for today. You know, now you need to get some rest. Because the reality is, if you push yourself way too hard and, I don't know, you get a stroke or something, not the good kind. you get a stroke and you die, then you're not gonna be around to see whatever you're working on actually succeed. You know what I mean? So to me, it's like, there's at some point you have to acknowledge that there's only so many hours in a day and only so much you can do before you hit your limit. And as I've said, I'm pretty slow as an artist. I'm not like super fast or anything like that. Like, I've seen people who do something like 4 to 5 pages in a day, and while their stuff isn't colored, it's still way faster than anything that I've done so far, you know. And I mean, that's obviously because they've been in art school, they know the fundamentals, so everything is off the top of their head really, really fast. Me, I gotta look up references and make sure things are looking correctly, you know. Like, I'm not that skilled of an artist, but I still get a lot done. And I think that's something that we need to give ourselves a pat on the back sometimes. It's not great depending on people to give us that type of acknowledgement, because a lot of the times that acknowledgement never comes, right? It's much better for us to look at our own progress and say, bro, you did good today. You know, I kind of noticed that in myself. Like, I don't acknowledge the amount of work I do enough. Sometimes I make myself feel like I'm a failure because this chapter isn't out yet. You know, like, you have 120 pages, you're only on 47. You know, like, you should have been much further by now. You know, like, sometimes I talk to myself like that and I'm like, bro, why are you kicking yourself in the face? You're working as hard as possible. You're like, come on, man, like, calm down. So I just want to make this quick video kind of venting about some of these things. I know to a lot of people who don't know about like art or have never felt these types of anxiety or negative feelings before, probably thinking I'm just rambling, or they clicked off the video a long time ago. This video isn't really for them anyway. I think that's fine. But if you're one of those people who understands what it's like to, what's the word I'm looking for here, doubt yourself, you know, go ahead and show me some support. And all you gotta do is subscribe to the channel. Each subscriber is going to help me get closer to my goal. My goal is getting to 10k subscribers. With 10k subscribers, I can confidently release this book, and I'll actually have fans of the channel who are interested in sharing it. You know, 10k readers is kind of amazing, and I know not all 10k are gonna be on this channel for that. Some of them just like my commentary, but I also, you know, tell pretty good stories too, you know. And if you're wondering what type of story it is, it's an adult action adventure, non-woke garbage type story. There's no woke agenda or bullshit politics in the story. It's straight up an action adventure for grown people with, I would say, in my opinion, deep character development. And some characters you can relate to, some characters you can't. You know, if you want to become a character in the story, all you gotta do is follow me on Twitter or Instagram and DM me telling me that you're interested in becoming a character, and I will draw you. As you might become a good guy, you might become a bad guy. Hell, you might just become a person in the background that shows up every now and then. Who knows? You know, so yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to vent about this. I hope you all enjoy my little, rambling session. And yeah, you all have a good rest of your day, okay? Later.